Welcome to Deep Work Out Loud, the thinking that fuels our life, our work, and our leadership. I'm Julie Harris Oliver. This is the podcast where I sit with another professional coach and we do some work around a single idea, a concept, something we're inspired by, something that has come up a lot in our coaching. And if we're very lucky while talking about it, we might get a minute or two of what coaching might look and feel like. But we'll see how this goes. These are all an experiment. With any luck, you will leave with something you can apply and use in your work or your life or both. And today I'm here with Marie Smith. Marie is the founder of Golden Hour Coaching and a nationally recognized voice in women's energy, leadership, and transformation. Doesn't that sound juicy? A best-selling author, international mindset coach, and retreat leader, she helps high-achieving women shift from burnout to vitality using her signature Golden Flow framework. Nourish, move, rest, repeat. She's a certified life and health coach, clarity catalyst trainer, and co-author of Heal to Lead, Stories to Turn Your Wounds into Wisdom. A former educator and personal trainer, Marie blends soul and strategy to guide women back to their truth. She lives in Nashville with her family and believes your light is worth protecting. Hello, Marie.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
I kind of want to dig into all of those things.
Okay.
But we are going to focus because that's what this podcast is. So before we dig in, why don't you tell me what was your journey to becoming a coach?
Sure. So I was a teacher in my former life before I had kids. And then my husband was his first job, he was posted outside of St. Louis. And so we were up there when our first two kids were born. And we always wanted to live in Nashville. And so it was kind of like, how are we going to get to Nashville? And after the second one was born, it was like, okay, this is really hard to do without family and a lot of close friends nearby. So with his job, we wouldn't be able to move for like 5 or 6 years. So I got into grad school at Vanderbilt and got my master's. So we were able to move. I got my master's, and then instead of going back to teaching, I had another baby, and then had another baby, and then started group fitness training because I was teaching classes because I was at the gym all the time, and I'm like, I want to make some money. And then I was like, you know what? I think I really want to do personal training. So I started that, and then I had another baby. So 5 in total.
How many babies are we up to?
5. We're up to 5, and that's the it. That was the last one. Anyway, so I was a trainer for about 10 years when I started feeling like, is this it? Like, is this all there is? And I consider myself a pretty smart person, and I feel like I have a lot to give, and I knew there was something more inside me. And so that's when I kind of started my coaching journey, which was really inspired by a retreat that I went on with a friend of mine who's a coach. And during a meditation, I heard what I believe to be the voice of the Holy Spirit telling me to be a life coach, which was interesting because I, 1, had never heard the Holy Spirit before, and 2, didn't really know what a life coach did. So that was a little bit of research, and then found health and wellness coach, dual certificate program. So I got health and wellness coaching and life coach certified in that 6-month program. And then since saying yes to that, just door after door has opened, and I have never felt more like I'm on the path I'm supposed to be on than I do now.
Well, first of all, it's hard to argue with the Holy Spirit.
Right? I mean, okay, if you say
Also,
so.
I'm curious, what did that sound like?
It sounded like a voice in front of my face, like not inside my head, which was interesting. But it sounded like the voice was like right in front of me. And it just said, you have to be a life coach. And it was just like, what? And it was funny because I shared after the meditation, I shared with the other people. I was like, so I heard this voice. and one of the ladies was like, well, do you want to be a life coach or a health coach? Because, you're already in like the health field. And I'm like, I don't know, Tammy. I just found out I'm supposed to be doing this.
This wasn't my idea.
I don't know. I don't even know what's going on right now.
So cool.
Yeah.
So what did you want to talk about today?
So I have started listening to books. I used to never listen to books. I'm like a big book in my hand kind of person. But I realized that I'm not going to say I don't have the time, but I don't make the time to sit down and read a book very often unless it's when I'm going to bed, right?
Yeah.
And so what I discovered is if I listen to a book, I can like double the amount of or even triple the amount of books that I read in a year because I can listen to them when I'm in the car, when I'm walking the dog, when I'm doing chores, when and so I was listening to You Can Do Hard Things by Glennon Doyle and Abby Wambach and Amanda Doyle.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, okay, so as I'm like, I mean, I still remember like where I was in my neighborhood. I'm like walking along, and Glennon was talking about when she and Abby go to a restaurant. Glennon, she said, I order off the menu. Like I look at the menu and I pick what I want to eat. And then the waiter asks Abby what she wants. And she starts like, well, I like this, but can I have this side instead? And will you please remove, whatever and add this in for me? And they always are like, yes, sure, that's great. She said, and then I start to get a little bit resentful because I'm like, I thought we were being polite and ordering off the menu.
Yeah, she's a rules girl.
Yeah. Like what I thought we were following the rules and doing this and these were our choices. I thought that was it. And she said, isn't it like that with life? How when we see somebody living off menu and kind of doing their own thing, and we're like, well, who does she think she is breaking all these rules? Like what I was given a menu of 10 things that I could be when I grew up, and she's not doing any of those things. That's not fair. And so I thought, oh, that is such an interesting concept about living off menu, because I feel like I said, with my coaching journey and all these doors opening for me, I feel like I'm kind of starting to live off menu. Like I lead retreats, I go on retreats, and, I have an amazing husband who's very supportive and helpful and is like, yeah, go do your thing. That's fine. And, helps with the kids. And my kids are getting older. I only have 2 who can't drive now.
Mm-hmm.
And so that definitely makes things easier. I was not doing this when my kids were 2 and 4 and 6, right? Like
it was all hands on deck.
Yeah, right. Like I wasn't doing it then, but I think I never thought about the fact that I could do that. Like I've been to Ireland, I've been to Italy. I'm planning, I have a sold out retreat to Spain next summer. I'm planning a retreat to Croatia next fall. Like I feel like I am creating this amazing life that has nothing to do with any menu that was given to me. And so just this concept of living off menu and what that can look like. And it doesn't have to be going to Croatia, right? Like it can be little things. It can be, but it can be, right? Like it can be little things too. So anyway, that concept has been kicking around in my head, and I'm curious if you've read that book, did that line stop you in your tracks like it did me? Like I had to rewind and listen again. Like I was like, ooh, hang on, I need to pause and like think about this for like a block. Like this is cool.
I haven't read that book, but I have listened to the podcast that book came out of. So I feel like I've heard maybe every single episode.
Yeah.
And I do remember when they talked about that. And it's funny because as you're describing it, a couple things are coming up for me. And one is that whole permission piece. Like how much of our lives are we waiting for permission? Yeah. And like from who exactly are we waiting for permission for?
Yeah, ourselves.
And I was talking with my son last night, and we were talking about that concept. And my husband and I have talked about this too, about it's possible, and so many people, myself included, live your whole life like waiting to see what happens to you, waiting to see what's going to happen in your life, not realizing that we have any agency at all about it or how much agency we have. And you can actually choose and create your life.
Oh,
like that was a concept that hit me, I think, in my 40s.
Yeah, that whole idea that we are co-creators of our life with God or spirit, universe, whatever you call that. We are co-creators of that. Like there's this also, what I teach is about purpose as being as opposed to purpose as doing. So your purpose...
Say more.
Yes. So your purpose in life is more about how you show up, and your job, what you're doing, is more like the hat or the coat you put on that day. So like I believe that my purpose is to be of service, to help other people, to motivate them and encourage them and inspire them to be the best that they can be. Well, I did that as a camp counselor. I do that as a friend. I did that as a school teacher. I do that as a mom. I do that as a coach. But I think if I were to say, oh, my whole purpose in life was to be a school teacher. Well, the minute I stopped being a school teacher, does that mean that I don't have a purpose anymore? No, of course not. Like, that doesn't make any sense for purpose to be what you do. And I think a
Mhm.
lot of times we get caught up in that. And uh, then, later in life, someone retires and then they're just lost because they
Who am
feel
I now?
like they have no purpose. And so I think if we can shift that and think about that purpose as being as opposed to purpose as doing, then it's how you show up when you're at the checkout counter at Walgreens. It's how you show up, in conversations with strangers, with loved ones, at work, at church, at, the cafe, like wherever you are. You're always living on purpose when you're showing up as the person you were meant to be.
And then the doing could be anything.
And then the doing could be anything. You could have a whole closet full of hats that you put on that day because the doing isn't the main driver. It's how you're showing up in the world.
So were you clear on that purpose from jump, or is it looking backwards you've been able to put all those dots together?
Oh, that's from years of coaching, my love. That is that is actually from a class that I now teach, because when I took it, it was like mind-blowing. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is life-changing right here." And that little concept of purpose as being as opposed to doing came out of that Clarity Catalyst that I teach. And it's one of those things that when when you explain it to people and like kind of like, okay, try this on. Like, how does that feel? What do you think about that? Like, do you agree with that? Do you hate this? Like, what does it bring up for you? And some people say, like, I had one person say, oh my gosh, that's such a relief. Like, that's so great. And then I had another person like, well, that's really intimidating. And I was like, oh, interesting. Tell me more. Like, why is that intimidating? And she's like, because it's not like my purpose isn't just while I'm doing the thing. I have to be that all the time. And I think as women, often we get caught up in the doing and we're getting
Yeah.
our worth from what we're doing as opposed to it coming from the inside of I'm worthy just because. And so I thought,
Halt.
okay,
Please say that sentence again.
I am worthy just because.
I just want to let that sit for a minute. Just people hearing that.
Yeah. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to. You are worthy because you are.
I especially want all the people from New England.
Well, I don't know. I think I mean, in the South, I'm born and raised in the South, and it is like we are very kind and welcoming, and we get a lot of our worth about what we do. Like, I am worthy because I do so much for other people, so I am worthy. I mean, think about like
Mm.
I'm allowed to sit and watch TV because I did all of my chores first.
Yeah,
I
that's exactly what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
It's so funny that, okay, that you're saying that that's Southern culture too, because my husband and my college roommate, both from New England, could not watch television until all the chores are done still. And they use the phrase, I have to justify my time.
Yeah. I have to earn it.
I have to earn it.
Well, but we do it with food. Oh, well, I can't
Yeah.
have that unless I go work out first, or I
And then I can
can't.
have a sweet treat.
Then I can exactly. Yeah, it's very complicated. We are very complicated beings. And I can say this, and do I do the same thing? Oh, yeah. Like, if it's the middle of the day and I wanna sit down and watch something on TV, I'm like, "I should probably fold laundry while I do this." Like,
Oh, yeah,
let
for
me
sure. You can't just sit
like,
there and watch TV.
I can't just sit here and watch a show. That would be ridiculous. Like, let me be and I think part of that too is as a mom of 5 and a busy household, like, I'm trying to be efficient also, like,
Yeah.
you know, so but again, I have to make sure in my crazy brain, am I doing this to earn this? Like, do I think I'm not allowed to do this? Like, what's you know, so, but
And it
we
goes along with, am I allowed to rest
mm,
also?
mhm,
Okay,
yeah,
so going back to living off menu. So if we take the premise that I am worthy
mhm,
because,
yeah, just because.
then what does that free you up for?
It frees you up to do anything and everything that your heart desires because you deserve it no matter what. Like, you are worthy of asking for something different. You are worthy of having the imagination to be able to decide, okay, what do I want my life to look like? Not what do I think it should look like? What did my life look like when I was growing up? What do other people expect my life to look like? Will I disappoint someone if I live my life in a different way? And the answer is yes, you will. You will disappoint someone. But as many wise coaches before me have said, if it's a choice between disappointing someone else and yourself, choose someone else.
I viscerally feel this crashing against the puritanical values that this country was founded on.
I know.
I could feel it.
Yeah. But it's funny too, because like we're afraid to step out and do these things, but we don't really follow that path. We don't follow that thought fully. We're like, oh, I can't do that. And we never say, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Well, because then, okay, let's walk through this. So I have had clients who, and I have to say, I am a big believer as a mother and wife that it takes two to make them and it takes two to raise them. And when a dad is in charge of his children, he is not babysitting.
Oh, Lord, no.
Okay. So, but I often hear moms be like, oh, yeah, my husband's babysitting tonight, so I can go out. And I'm like, they're his children.
He's parenting. He's parenting.
He's not babysitting.
It's the least he can do.
Are you babysitting when he's not home? I don't think so. Like,
yeah.
So,
what a radical feminist stance.
Right? Like, so insane. Like,
baseline. Baseline.
Yeah, that absolutely should be the baseline. But they, well, I can't go out at 6:00 to meet somebody for dinner. Okay, well, why not? Well, because I need to put the kids to bed. Well, can't your husband put the kids to bed? Oh, well, that might be too much for him. What would he do if you weren't there?
He'd figure it out.
He'd figure it out, right?
Like, if you send the man out as a captain of industry to run the world, he can manage bedtime.
He can manage bedtime. Like, but I think she, in her mind, had created this system in her house where she did that to not put him out. And so,
also, I would say she was conditioned from birth.
Oh, I'm sure.
On her gender role and responsibility.
Yes. Oh, I'm sure that's what her house looked like growing up.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know. I think my mother was way ahead of her time. Like, she was not like, clean house, fresh bow in her hair, dinner on the table when my dad got home.
Pearls.
Right. Like, yeah, no, like that was not the thing. In fact, she had a cookbook that she showed me one time. She's like, look at this. And I think it was like a Better Homes and Gardens cookbook or something. And it had like a section talking about dinner should be on the table. When your husband walks in the door, the children need to have their faces clean and fresh clothes on, and you should have a fresh bow in your hair. Like, literally said that. And she and I were like howling with laughter. We're like, this is hilarious. Like, So I think when you are conditioned like that, to think that like these are the roles assigned to you in life, even though when we're little, we are told you can be anything you want to be.
Mm-hmm. Here's your doll.
Yeah. Sometimes the people who say that don't really mean it. You can be anything you want to be on this menu, right? Like, or if, a woman's going to be a doctor. Oh, wow. Isn't that incredible? But what about her kids? Who's going to take care of
Won't they suffer?
Yeah. Right? Like, it's very two-faced, these standards that we have. And I'm not here for it.
I mean, the menu has grown since it was, you could be a nurse, a teacher, a secretary.
Right.
The menu's much larger.
The menu is much larger.
We failed to offload 100% of the domestic work with it.
And the mental load.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely, and I will say, I will be the first to admit, Julie, I am still guilty of this. I find myself having these thoughts and I'm like, snap out of it. Like, what are you doing? Like, but it's years of conditioning and the example that we were given. And so
I still do it and I'm mad about it. And it is not a thought in my husband's head that I should be doing that.
Oh,
And
of course
still,
not. Yeah,
yeah.
I know.
So considering all of that, it occurs to me it actually takes a lot of courage to make a different choice. And, I just reminded of, did you ever see that Tracy Ellis Ross speech
Oh, I don't know.
where she talked about my life is mine?
Ooh,
It's
no, but I
not
just got
about
chills when you said that. Can you
my
say it
life is
again?
mine. My life is mine. What a radical thought. Because she was, I think at the time, she was pushing back against, she doesn't have a husband, she doesn't have children, and getting a lot of pushback for that.
Mm,
Like, why aren't you doing these things you're supposed to do? She's like, my
yeah,
life is mine. I can do whatever I
yeah,
want with it.
because I don't wanna.
Yeah. It's a radical notion. And in this society, it takes so much courage
It does.
to do that. Okay,
I
so
know.
how do we muster the courage?
Well, you have to do a few things, I think. I think one of the things is quieting that inner critic, because that voice, whether it's your own voice that you're hearing or it's your grandmother's voice or your dad's voice or, that teacher at school, somebody, there's a voice in there. And
Yep.
whether it's, actually something that you heard your mom or dad say or something that someone actually said to you, whatever example you saw, that voice was created with that line of, you know, stay small. Don't
Yep.
don't branch out too much.
That's
And
probably not your voice.
it's definitely not your voice, because your true inner voice of wisdom, your inner sage, your whatever you want to call it, your conscience, the Holy Spirit, like whatever, that voice wants you to live to your absolute fullest. Are you familiar with oh my gosh, I'm going to forget his name.
Are you familiar with it?
I am familiar, and now I can't think of his name. Kelly is his last name. He's an author, a Catholic author, but one of the things that he says is, God just wants you to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Like in the best version of yourself, if you know you have more to give and you're not giving it, you're not being the best version of yourself, right? So that inner voice, that inner sage is always going to encourage you to use your gifts and live your life to the absolute fullest. And so I think if we can quiet that inner voice of, don't do that, people are going to make fun of you. What are the neighbors going to think? Oh, you can't do that. That's women in your family don't do that. Then you're like, okay, wait a second. That doesn't sound right. And again, that voice is here to keep you safe. And it served a purpose for many decades, probably. But now it's not serving you anymore. And it's okay to be like, you know what? Thank you. Thank you, voice of judgment. I appreciate you so much for keeping me safe. But I am onboarding some new ideas and some new beliefs. And so I need you to take a back seat, and we're going to listen to the voice of wisdom right now.
Your service is no longer needed here.
That's right. That's right. We're not, we're not kicking them out. We're not being ugly about it. We're not fighting it, because, what you resist persists. But we're just acknowledging you can move on. We're
like Liz Gilbert talks about fear in Big Love.
yes.
We know you're going to be on the road trip, but you
That's
don't
right.
get to drive. You don't get to man the radio.
That's
You're
right.
going to sit in the back seat and
That's
be
right.
quiet.
That's right. Just be quiet. You don't get to give me directions. Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm wondering if you were to think about, okay, I want to start living off the menu. And I imagine it doesn't have to be some big, huge, life-changing decision. I imagine it's a bunch of experiments.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you start dipping your toe in the water?
So something that I did at the time, I certainly didn't think of it as living off menu, but like looking back, I can see it as that.
Mm-hmm.
I was training for a half marathon, and I really needed to get a run in this particular day. And it was like 5:00, 5:30, which is usually when I start dinner. And I said out loud to my husband, I'm like, I really need to go for a run. And he was like, go. And I was like, but it's dinner time. And he's like, I can make dinner.
I'm anxious hearing this request.
Right?
I'm anxious. And I'm also, and I hope we get to a point where I am not so impressed with your husband.
Well, he's amazing. I will say. And it's funny because for years, I was in the, like, traditional wife, mom gender role
Yeah.
that I completely created for myself.
Yeah.
It had he never expected me to make dinner every night, me to always do the laundry, me to take the kids to school, pick the kids up from school, take her. I just, like, this is what moms do, and I, like, did it. And so and it's funny because, like, he was just looking at me baffled. And then I'm thinking, I'm like, "Well, yes, of course, because when you need to go for a run, you just go for a flippin' run. Like,
Yeah.
you don't ask me, you just do it. You just go." And so he's like, "Yeah, go." And so I went,
Well, and you didn't
anxiously.
even have to negotiate it. You just
No.
asked.
I didn't even really ask. I just said,
You
"I need
just
to go
said,
for a run." I made a statement, and he was like, "Then go for a run." I was like, "Oh, I didn't know I could do that."
wow. Wow.
Isn't that sexy?
Actually, it's so sexy. I say this all the time. Nothing sexier than a man who's a feminist
Yeah.
doing the right thing.
I mean, right? But
Yeah.
so that, like, looking back, it's like that kind of thing. Like, that
Mhm.
little, like, just breaking out of whatever expectation you have for yourself or another's expectation that you are agreeing with and accepting. Breaking out of that is living off menu. Like, that is, you know, like you said, just, like, dipping your toe in it. And maybe it's asking for help. Women don't do that a lot. You could ask for help with something little at home. You could ask for help with something big, but that's gonna help you create that life that you're looking for. Because you might not know all the things. I mean, I don't know all the things. So I ask for help. I'm like, "Hey,
Yeah.
you know who knows about that? Julie knows about that. Let me ask her. She might have experience with that."
It's like, what if we had needs and we were allowed to meet them?
Girl, that's a whole nother podcast. Like,
I'm like,
that is my whole mastermind. I'm like, can we, number 1, be aware of the fact that we have needs and acknowledge that? Like,
yeah,
yes, I have a need, and decide that you're going to fill it, and then actually fill it.
yeah.
Like,
There's an incredible coach for women in Los Angeles called Andrea Quinn is her name, and she does the Quinn Essentials.
oh, love it.
And I took her class, and one of her first lessons is learning to receive
Mm.
as a woman. And so the exercise is go to Trader Joe's, let them bag your groceries, ask for help to your car. You carry your flowers. And the whole room tenses up.
Yeah,
Like,
I was gonna say,
oh
everybody's
no,
shoulders are in ears,
oh no.
stomachs are
Yeah. So I
quivering.
go to do this exercise.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there, sitting on my hands while the woman is bagging my groceries, and she's getting annoyed that I'm not bagging my groceries. And so it's really hard because she's
Yeah.
pissed off that she's bagging my groceries. And so I did not then have the nerve to ask for help out. I got much better at it later. But this first time, letting her bag the groceries was so painful. I pushed my cart out myself. And then because I was so uncomfortable, I unload my groceries, I take my cart, and then I collected every stray cart in the parking lot because
Then
I worked for Trader Joe's now.
I was gonna say, now you have a job.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, I could not have failed that assignment more spectacularly.
No, but isn't that interesting? Isn't all of that that's just
Revealing.
it is very revealing and very interesting and just data that you have about
Yeah,
yourself. And you're
yeah.
like, "Oh, okay.
Huh.
I have a hard time getting help." You know when I learned how to get help is I am BRCA2 positive. My mom died from breast cancer at
Mm,
58, and I did not want that for my children. So
mm,
I had a double mastectomy, hysterectomy, like got rid of everything that might try to kill me.
yeah.
And that is like after that surgery, it's a big deal. Like you've got drains, you can't pick up anything. Like you basically
I
can't.
just had it done.
Oh, so yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a thing. And my girlfriend took me on a retreat before the surgery, and she was like, "Okay, who is going to help you?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, I mean, like John Henry, I've got John Henry and, the older kids." And she's like, "Marie, no, you need help. You're going to need help getting because he's going to be helping you. So you need someone to help with the kids. So how are they going to get home from school? What about dinner? What about like all of this?" And I was like, And just even her asking, I'm like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Like and it was like, and something my sister told me, she was like, listen, when you help other people, and maybe this is a Catholic thing, but like we feel like when we are helpful, we get grace from God. She said, you are robbing people of their grace.
Give someone the gift
when you don't let
of
them
helping
help.
you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so if I want to be a helper, which is like my thing, I'm a 2 on the Enneagram, like I love to help. If I'm going to be a helper, there has to be someone to receive. And so therefore I have to learn to receive. And so I have gotten so much better at asking for help because I am always the first one to offer help, and it's okay to receive help too. So, but again, learning that, like you said, the first time, it is real hard.
It's rough.
It is rough.
It's rough.
Then you get a job at Trader Joe's. That can happen when you try to receive
And they didn't
help.
even pay me.
That's right.
I've gotten much better at it, for the record.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so looking at the time, what else would you leave us with about having the courage to live off menu?
I think I would, to start, like to even know where to begin, I think I would, light a candle, put on some soft music, get out your journal, or if you don't have a journal, just get out a piece of paper and a pencil and write down things that you've been curious about, wanting to try, would love to do, used to do before fill in the blank, whether that's before you got married, before you had kids, before you started working, before you, whatever.
Before you're crushing responsibilities.
Before adulting took over, and just write those things down and look at them and be like, okay, is this something I really want to do? And like circle 3 of them. Like, what are the ones that are like really I want to do? And write down to yourself the reasons why you can't do that.
Oh, that part's easy.
I can't do this because, okay? And write that down, okay? Then I want you to take a minute, don't look at it, and imagine that your best friend handed you that sheet of paper. And you're going to look at that piece of paper and be like, this is a bunch of BS. There is no reason why you should not be doing these things that you love.
Yeah.
That bring you joy, that nourish you, that excite you, that interest you. And then write down all the reasons that you can do it and map it out. How are you going to just pick one, because 3 could be scary. Pick one. How are you going to make this happen? How are you going to do
Love it?
Orchestrate it, map it out. And if you have to pretend that you're mapping it out for your best friend because you want her to have this experience, great, if that makes it easier. But just know that you are the best friend. That's actually you.
And then do one thing.
Yeah. And see how that feels. And maybe it's scary. And maybe it's, maybe it is going to Trader Joe's and asking them to carry your groceries to the car. Like,
sounds small.
It
is
does
not
sound small. No. That is, think about how many times, like, I know at Publix, they always ask, do you need help to your car? Never once have I said yes. Never once.
But try it.
I think I will.
It's luxurious.
I will. I'm going to live off menu by getting somebody to carry my groceries to the car.
Exactly. We'll start small.
That's right.
And then we'll go live in Paris.
That's right. Why not?
Or something.
Yeah. Come to Croatia with me next fall.
That's right. Okay, how can people find you, especially if they want to go to Croatia?
Yes. So goldenhourcoaching.com is my website. You can sign up for my newsletter there, and you can find me on Instagram at my Golden Hour Coaching. Marie at Golden Hour Coaching is my email. And yeah, I would love to. Oh, I do have like a free gift if people want a free gift.
Say it.
Yeah. Okay.
Everyone wants a free gift.
So I have a stress SOS guide. It's tools that you can use in the moment of stress. It's not like meditation and journaling, which are great. But like if you're in the middle of a stressful situation, you can't be like, excuse me, I need 5 minutes to pull out my journal. These are tools that you can use in the moment. So if they text SOS, that's the message, SOS, to 66866, it will ask for their name and email. And they put that in, and I will email it right over.
How cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Marie.
Of course. Oh my gosh, this was so lovely. Thank you for having me.
So fun. This has been Deep Work Out Loud. I'm Julie Harris Oliver. I'd like to thank Marie Smith for joining the podcast. If any of this resonates with you, please subscribe, leave a review at all the podcast places. And if you'd like to work with me, you can find me at julieharrisoliver.com. And let me leave you with this. What might it look like if you were to do a little experiment here or there, living off menu? Try some things and report back. Thanks for listening. See you next time.